Have you ever heard Miss Schroeder say anything negative about Mr. Olander to Tegan?
No, never.
Have you ever witnessed anybody else try to say anything negative about Mr. Olander in front of Miss Schroeder?
No.
Okay. Have you ever observed Tegan and Mr. Olander speaking together on the phone?
Can you repeat that, please?
Have you ever had the opportunity to observe Tegan and her father, Mr. Olander, speaking on the phone together?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And can you describe Tegan's demeanor during those phone calls? Without mentioning anything that Tegan says, if you could describe your observations as to her demeanor, character.
Yes. Well, to be honest with you, as soon as she hears her dad's voice, she usually goes and hides under the covers, or she cowers. She doesn't. She just starts shaking. Yeah.
Have you ever heard Mr. Olander say anything to Tegan on the phone?
Yes, I have.
What kinds of things have you heard him say to Tegan?
Well, at first he says, hi, Tegan. And at this time, Tegan's kind of hiding under the covers, and then.
Okay, and then after that, what kinds of things would Mr. Olander say?
And Tegan wouldn't say anything, and then he would just, Tegan, why aren't you talking to me? Tegan, I'm your dad. Why aren't you talking to me? Talk to me. And he's just saying it in a very loud, sorry. I would just kind of say like a mean voice.
Okay. Is he yelling?
Yes.
Okay. And then, did he just yell on one phone call? Do you often hear him yelling? Like, what's the frequency?
That was pretty much their conversations that would only last like a minute.
Okay. And when he would start yelling, what would Tegan's demeanor or mannerisms be?
Well, she wanted to say something. She wanted to talk, but she didn't know. But then she would just say, Dad, you're being mean to me. Why are you being mean to me, Dad?
Did Mr. Olander frequently exercise phone calls with Tegan?
He called.
Okay. Could you say once a day, once a month?
No, I would say once a week.
Okay. And about how many of these phone calls did you observe?
I observed a number of them.
Okay. Were they varied in length, or would they typically
They were short.
Okay. Would you say less than half an hour?
Yes.
Okay. And were these phone calls positive experiences as far as you could tell?
For the most part, they were negative.
Okay. How so?
It got to the point where Tegan did not want to talk with him. She would hide from the phone calls. She at some point said that you're mean to me. She just would hide from the phone, and she would cower.
Were you able to hear anything that Mr. Olander said to Tegan?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay, and what would you hear?
I'm your dad, don't talk to me that way.
Okay, and would he say that in a quiet voice?
Or authoritative.
Okay. Olander asked you what was going on with Tegan and why she didn't want to talk or hang out. Do you recall, and I'm not asking for specific details, but do you recall having a conversation with him about specifically why Tegan was upset with him?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember what his reaction or his response to that conversation was?
Not positive. Didn't take it seriously.
Okay.
And basically didn't believe it.
And was this a concern that Tegan had brought up to you?
Yes.
Okay. And you relayed that concern to Mr. Olander, but he didn't follow up with it.
Correct.
What are your concerns with immediately thrusting Tegan back into significant parenting time?
I have concerns about that.
Okay. And what are your concerns?
Safety concerns. Her not wanting to see him.
Then on page 4, he said, "What's going on with Tegan? Why doesn't she want to talk or hang out? I've been patient with her and just trying to reassure her I love her and miss her, but this really sucks." So he was acknowledging at that point that she didn't want to see him. Is that right?
Yes.
For today, do you have any idea what has happened to change her attitude towards you?
Absolutely no idea.
Have you tried to talk to Ms. Schroeder about it?
Yes.
Did you get any response from her about this?
She told me it's something I need to talk to Tegan about. Tegan won't tell me either.